we're going to get started standing at the top of the mat. A little different. Okay, so standing at the very top of your mat, feet are hips width. Drop your arms down by your side and close your eyes. Notice what happens when the eyes close for that first second. If you feel like you're swaying or spinning at all. And then soften your knees, make your feet even heavier on the ground. Reach the crown of your head up toward the ceiling. Let's start by taking 3 deep breaths. Inhale, fill all the way up in through the nose. Open your mouth and just let the breath go. Again, like that. Full breath in through the nose. Open your mouth and just empty out. One more time, deep breath in through your nose. Fill all the way up to the very, very top. Open your mouth, sigh your right back out. And then seal your lips. This time breathe in through your nose and out through your nose, that ujjayi breath. Just to build a little heat in the body. We're going to start by dropping our chin in toward our chest, tipping the front of the ribs into the back of the body, hunching the shoulders forward. Just continue that roll down to the ground. Big bend in the knees. Maybe your hands touch the ground or your blocks. Maybe they don't. It's okay either way. And then keep the knees soft, keep the head heavy. Drag yourself all the way back up to stand. One backbone at a time until your ribs stack over your hips, your shoulders stack over your ribs, and the head reaches back up. Again, like that, chin to your chest, round the shoulders forward, pull the ribs back. The belly button up and back, reach all the way down toward the ground. And with soft knees, roll yourself all the way back up. A little taller than last time. A little extra space between the backbones. One more time, chin to your chest. Roll yourself all the way down. And then with soft knees, drag yourself all the way back up. Let your head be the very last thing to lift. This time at the top, sweep your arms up overhead. Take a big inhale, extended mountain pose. Flat back, dive forward over the legs. Halfway lift on your breath in. Fold back down on your breath out. Mountain pose on your inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Forward fold on your exhale, bow over the legs. Halfway lift as you breathe in. Fold back down as you breathe out. One more time like that, mountain pose, sweep your arms all the way up. Forward fold, dive over the legs. Halfway lift on your breath in. Plant your hands, step your left foot to the back of your mat into runner's lunge. And take a moment here to pull your right knee away from your left heel, really active in your legs. Big inhale, big exhale. And then soften your left knee to the ground. Sweep your arms up overhead into low lunge. Big inhale, feel the left hip flexor stretch. Frame your right foot, slide your hips back, kneeling half split. Bend your right knee, reach your arms up overhead, deep breath in. Frame your right foot, slide the hips back, kneeling half split. One more time, bend the right knee, reach your arms up overhead. This time stay. Use your right hand to pull your left wrist up and over to the right side of the mat. Even deeper stretch through the left hip flexor. Take 3 deep breaths. Try to fill the left lower abs up more than anything else. One more time, full breath in. Full breath out. Frame your right foot. This time tuck your left toes, lengthen your left leg back behind you. And then plant your hands, fly the right leg back, 3-legged dog. Bend your right knee, stack your hips, draw big circles with your right foot or with your right knee. Just opening up some space in the left hamstring, the left inner thigh. Maybe rolling your chest over toward the right side of your mat. Beautiful. Stretch your right leg all the way back up to the sky. Big breath in. Downward facing dog. Feet side by side on your breath one knee at a time. And you're just moving around in a way that feels good for you. There's no right or wrong. It can be more movement in the hips or more movement in the ribs. Just keep exploring and opening up those spots that feel tight or stuck. Anchor both heels to the ground. Lift your sit bones up. Take a giant breath in through your nose. Open mouth, sigh out. Rise to your toes. Tiptoe your feet to your hands. Ragdoll at the top of your mat. Anchor the heels down. Big bend in the knees. And just let the upper body fold. Hands are heavy on the mat. Or grabbing opposite elbow. A little box around your head. Take one more big inhale. Feel the belly press into the thighs. Big exhale. Halfway lift. Flatten your back and take a big breath in. Fold back down, breath out. Mountain pose on your inhale. Rise all the way up. Forward fold on your exhale. Halfway lift as you breathe in. Plant your hands, step your right foot back to runner's lunge as you breathe out. And take a moment here, pull the left knee away from the right heel. Push the back of the right knee up toward the ceiling. Pull them even further apart. One more big breath in. Gently tap the right knee down to the ground. Untuck your right toes. Sweep your arms up overhead for the whole length of your inhale. Frame your left foot. Slide your hips back, kneeling half split. Bend your left knee, reach your arms up, big breath in. Frame your left foot, slide your hips back, breath out. One more time, bend the left knee, reach your arms up overhead and stay. Grab your right wrist with your left hand, pull it up and over to the left. Anchoring down through the right knee, reach your arms all the way over to the left side of the mat. Take 3 deep breaths into those right lower abs. Your arms back up to the ceiling, and then frame your left foot with your hands. Tuck your right toes, lengthen the right knee back, press into your hands, left leg flies back, 3-legged dog. Bend your left knee, stack your hips, draw circles with your left foot or your left knee. Exploring, take some time, open the hips, close them back off, see what feels good for that right side. Your movement, what your body needs is going to be a little different than what mine needs, so it's okay if you look very different than me right now. Stretch your left leg high to the sky, 3-legged dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, feet side by side, exhale. Take a moment to bend your knees and to sink your heels toward the ground. Noticing that stretch in the back of your legs, slide down toward your Achilles. And then lengthen the legs back out. It's okay if the heels pop up. Shift forward into high plank. Take a big breath in. Lower all the way down to your belly on your breath out. Hands stay right underneath your shoulders. Untuck your toes. Baby cobra. Pull your heart through your arms. Lead with your heart. Roll back down to the mat. Walk your hands out an inch wider than your shoulders. Maybe wider than your mat. And then lift up a little higher this time. Lead with your heart, roll back down. One more time, big breath in, lifting up into a full cobra. Lead with your heart, stretch out longer than you started. Press your palms into the ground, reach your butt back towards your heels for child's pose. Just let the body settle. Notice any differences that are showing up from when we started. Any extra space in the shoulders or the hips, or maybe just the breath is easier. Reach both hands to the right side of your mat. Crawl your left fingertips higher than your right. Like if they were racing, the left fingertips are winning. And then pull your left hip back away from your left fingertips. Feel that big stretch down the left side of the ribs. One more deep breath, filling up the left side of the body, and then softening the left side of the body. Sweep your hands over to the left, and let your right fingertips reach a little higher. filling up the right side of the body more than the left. Good stretch on the right side of the body. One more big inhale. One more big exhale. Sweep your hands back to the center. Tuck your toes, press your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Rise high to your toes on your breath in. Melt your heels down to the ground, breath out. High to your toes, full inhale. Heels melt down, full exhale. One more time, high to your toes on your breath in. As you drop the heels, bring them to the right. Both heels to the right, all 10 toes to the left. Bend your knees, reach your hips away from your hands. Feel that big stretch in the left side of the ribs like we felt a moment ago in child's pose. And then reach your hips back another inch, make that stretch even deeper. 2 big breaths, knees pointing toward the left, hips reaching back toward the right. Come back to center, high to your toes on your inhale. Drop your heels to the left, toes to the right. Bend your knees, reach your butt back away from your hands, especially away from that right hand. Big stretch on the right side of the ribs. Take 2 full breaths. High to your toes on your breath in. Melt your heels down on your breath out. One more time, rise to your toes. Tiptoe your feet to your hands back to ragdoll at the top of the mat. Soften your knees. Relax your head. Interlace your hands together. Place them at the base of your head, right on the back of your neck. Let the forearms rest on your jawline. Without tugging, just let the weight of your arms assist in that stretch in your neck, adding extra space between each bone in your back. One more big inhale. Soften on the exhale. Release your hands. Slowly roll yourself to stand. At the top, pressing into both feet, soft bend in both knees. Drop your right ear to your right shoulder, and your chin to your chest. Left ear, left shoulder, and then lift the head back up. Just big neck rolls around to the right. Can you reach your fingertips closer toward the ground? Feel that extra stretch down the sides of the neck. Now reversing the direction, dropping chin to chest. Right ear, right shoulder. Lift the head, left ear, left shoulder. And just exploring all those spaces around the sides of the neck and the front of the neck. Take one more big circle. Your head back up to center. Sweep your arms up overhead, take a big breath in. Forward fold, bow over the legs, breath out. Halfway lift on your inhale. Step your left foot back behind you, runner's lunge on your exhale. Gaze up toward the ceiling, keep a big bend in the right knee as you breathe in. Stretch your right leg long, bow over your right leg, breathe out. 2 more times like that. Bend your right knee on your inhale. Straighten your right leg on your exhale. This is a great spot for blocks if you're having trouble touching the ground. One more time, look up to the ceiling, big breath in. Straighten your right leg, fold forward and stay. Take 2 deep breaths, folding your chest down toward your thigh. One more time, big inhale. Big exhale. Bend your right knee, reach your arms up overhead for high lunge on your breath in. Spin your back heel to the ground, warrior 2 on your breath out. Peaceful warrior, right arm reaches up and back, a long, lingering inhale. Straighten your right leg, triangle pose on your exhale. Another awesome spot for blocks, right inside of the right foot, anchor the hand down, and then lift away from the ground. Left fingertips pull you up toward the ceiling. Crown of your head reaches away from your left hip. And then explore. Maybe the arm starts to circle around the body, or you open and close the chest. Big movements. Just try it on. If it feels good, keep doing it. If it doesn't, ditch it. more big breath in and out. Soften your right knee on your breath in. Peel up warrior two on your breath out. Straight arms, straight legs. Turn all 10 toes to the long side of your mat. Wide leg forward fold. Bowing down inside the thighs. Walk your heels just a touch wider than your toes. Lift your sit bones up, let the head hang heavy. Take 3 deep breaths. One more time, full breath in, full breath out. Halfway lift your chest, walk your hands out underneath your shoulders. We're gonna baby bend the left knee, straighten the right. Skandasana to the back of your mat. And then to the top of the mat, bend your right knee, straighten your left. One more time to the back of the mat, bend the left knee, straighten the right. All the way around to the top of the mat, runner's lunge, frame your right foot. Keep your left hand planted on the ground, reach your right arm up toward the ceiling, twisting low lunge. Stay for 2 deep breaths, taking your gaze up toward the ceiling, rolling that right rib on top of the left. Soften your back knee down to the ground for low lunge. Reach your right fingertips to the back edge of your mat. Option to reach back and grab the top of your left foot. Feel a deep stretch down the left hip flexor through the front of the left thigh. Stay for one more big breath in. One more big breath out. Release your left foot down. Tuck the left toes. We'll meet in forward fold at the top of the mat. Right arm circles around, left foot steps to meet the right. Halfway lift, take a big breath in. Bow forward, take a breath out. Mountain pose on your inhale, rise all the way up. Forward fold on your exhale. Halfway lift, breathe in. Plant your hands, right foot steps back to runner's lunge, breathe out. Bend your left knee, look up toward the ceiling, take an inhale. Stretch your left leg long, bow over, take an exhale. Bend your left knee, look up, take a big breath in. Stretch your left leg long, bow forward, breath out. One more time, bend the left knee, look up on your breath in. Stretch your left leg long, bow forward and stay. Take 2 deep breaths. Pull your left hip back another inch. Reach your chest down your leg 1 more inch. Last time, big breath in. Big breath out. Bend your left knee, reach your arms up overhead, high lunge, full inhale. Warrior two, spin the back heel to the ground, exhale. Peaceful warrior, left arm reaches up and back. Triangle pose, straighten the left leg. Tap the left hand down toward the shin or down toward your block. And then explore, use that top arm to roll the chest open or draw big circles up and around. Feeling an extra stretch down the right side of the body, through the inner thighs. Last big breath in, fill up to the top. Soften on the exhale. Bend your left knee, breathe in. Rise up, warrior two on your breath out. Straighten both legs, both arms, all 10 toes face the long side of the mat. Wide leg forward fold. This time, take both hands over towards your right ankle. Call the whole body over toward that right thigh. And take the whole body over toward the left thigh. Both hands grab the left ankle. One more deep breath in. Deep breath out. Bring it back to center. Walk your hands right underneath your shoulders. Bend your right knee, straighten your left. Skandasana to the back of the mat. Bend your left knee, straighten your right. One last time to the back of the mat. Then the right knee, straighten the left. To the top of the mat, runner's lunge, frame your left foot. Crawling all the way back around to 12 o'clock. Keep your right hand planted. The left arm reaches up overhead, twisting low lunge for 2 deep breaths. Drag the outside of that left hip back. Reach the crown of your head to the top edge of the mat. Gently tap your right knee down to the ground for low lunge. Reach your left fingertips to the back edge of the mat. You can stay just like this, heart opening, or bend the right knee, grab the top of your right foot. Taking our first quad stretch here. One more big inhale. One more big exhale. Release your right foot. Tuck your right toes. We meet in forward fold at the top of the mat. One last time here in forward fold. Grab a hold of opposite elbow or lace your hands together at your low back. Any last things that you've been hoping to feel in this position? One more breath in. One more breath out. If your hands are bound, release them. Halfway lift your back, take a long breath in. Fold forward, take a breath out. Mountain pose on your inhale, rise all the way up. Forward fold on your exhale. Halfway lift, breathe in. Step back to high plank on your breath out. You can tap down to your knees if you need to. We're going to shift forward on our inhale. Chaturanga on your exhale. Upward facing dog. First time, take a big breath in. Roll the shoulders back. Downward facing dog. Big breath out. 2 more times like that. Just energizing the body. Shift forward. Take an inhale. Chaturanga on your exhale. Upward facing dog. Big breath in. Downward facing dog. Big breath out. Very last time. High plank, breathe in. Chaturanga, breathe out. Upward facing dog on your inhale. Downward facing dog on your exhale. Tap your knees to the ground, reach your hips back towards your heels, child's pose. Two more deep breaths. Softening any tension in your hips, in your quads, in your calves or your feet. Then roll forward into tabletop position. Lower all the way down to your belly. You're going to take your right cheek to the ground. Reach your left arm back by your left hip. And then bend your left heel in toward your seat. Grab the top of your left foot. And so we're working on a quad stretch on this left side. I want you to pull your heel in as much as you're able to. If you can't grab it, grab a yoga strap or a towel around the bottom of that left foot. You're going to tuck your tailbone under, squeeze your left glute, like you're trying to push your quads, your hips into the ground. And then give an extra little pull on that left foot, deepening that left quad stretch. Now, the more specific you are with your hips, the more you tuck the tailbone under and squeeze the glutes, the deeper that quad stretch is going to get. Let me see for 3 deep breaths here. And change your grip. Bring your left hand to the inside of your left foot, holding onto the arch of your foot. You're going to prop yourself up onto your right forearm. Kick your foot back into your hand. Kind of like bow pose. I want you to keep your left thigh on the ground. Use your foot pushing back to feel that stretch through the front of your shoulder on the left side, through your chest. Push off of that right hand a little more. Try to lift the chest an extra bit. And then one last time, kick your foot back into your hand. Take 2 more breaths like this. Soften all the way down to the ground. Release your foot. You'll take your left cheek to the ground. Bend your right heel in toward your seat. Grab the top of your right foot. Same thing with the hips. Tuck the tailbone under. Press your hips in toward the floor and then pull your right heel in toward your seat. deeper. We've got just a few breaths here. And change your grip, bringing that right hand to the inside of your right foot. Prop yourself up on your left forearm, lift the chest, kick your right foot back into your hand. Feel that nice heart opening, chest opening stretch on the right side. Lift your chest up 1 more inch, press your foot back into your hand. Take your last 2 breaths. Soften all the way down to the ground. Release your foot. We'll meet back up in child's pose one final time. Hips back toward your heels. Call your arms out as far as they'll go. And then walk your hands in toward your knees. Lift your shoulders over top of your hips. Swing your legs around to the top of your mat. Finding a comfortable seat. And bend both knees, both feet are flat on the ground. We'll take our right ankle toward our left knee, coming into a figure 4 stretch or seated half pigeon. Pressing into your hands, open up your chest toward your right shin. Close your eyes. Feel that stretch in the outer right hip. The muscles that rotate that right hip open. Length through the chest. Each exhale, soften the muscles that surround the right hip. Take 1 more big breath in. 1 more big breath out. And then crawl your left foot over toward the right side of your mat, coming into double pigeon. And so you'll stack ankles on top of knees. Maybe the shins align, maybe they don't. It might look something like this, and you can place your yoga block in between your knee and your ankle. Once you find a comfortable position in your legs, lift the crown of your head up, close your eyes. And take 2 more deep breaths. Take your left arm up overhead, reach it to the right side of your mat. That left hip pressing down in toward the floor. Should feel like a big stretch of the left hip flexor up along the left side of the obliques and down by that left hip bone. And then lift your chest all the way back up. Switching sides, crossing your left ankle over top of your right knee, coming into that seated half pigeon or seated figure 4 stretch. Just taking these last few moments to listen to the body. Scanning from your head down to your toes. Noticing what spots feel open and ready for the day, which spots might need a little bit more time to warm up. Spots might need a little more care throughout the day. It's not a good thing or a bad thing to have tight spots. It's just something to notice, something that we can work with. That breath to create softness wherever you feel tight or stuck. One last breath in. One last breath out. Heel toe your right foot over toward the left edge of your mat, coming into double pigeon with the left ankle crossed on top. Finding your sit bones on the ground, length through the chest. 3 deep breaths. Take your right arm, reach it up and over toward the left side of your mat. Trying to press the right hip back down into the floor, gaze up into the right palm. Your chest and chin all the way back up. Uncross your ankles, find just a comfortable seat, and we'll end here with just 1 moment of silence, just 1 moment of the breath. Palms at heart center or down on your thighs, wherever they feel comfortable. Take these last 3 breaths here to soften the jaw, soften the space between the eyebrows, melt your shoulders away from your ears. And one last breath together. Sweep your arms all the way up overhead. Take that final big breath in. Hands to heart center on your breath out. Lift the thumbs to third eye center where the light and love in me sees and honors that same light and love in each of you. Thank you for taking these moments to stretch with me this morning. Namaste. Thank you, guys. Nice work.